Okay, we will go over now your most common crochet tools. I will put a disclaimer, I am missing currently my yarn needles. I looked and looked and looked and I have no idea where it got put, which figures because I just used it a couple of days ago, and of course now it's missing that I need it. Now that I need it, it's missing. Rather. Sorry, my words are kind of slurring together. Anyway, so we're going to go over 3 types of yarn because those are about the only 3 that I have in my stash. And then we'll go over the hooks and these hooks as well. And of course, scissors, measure tape, and the yarn needle that I don't have right now. Anyway, okay, so on your yarn, this is the only one that I have right now that has a label on it. So I'm going to show you the label from this one. This is sachet yarn, as it says on the thing, which is primarily used for scarves and purses and stuff like that. So this one is weight 6, which is super bulky. Most of them list the size, primary size needle or hook that you'll need for knitting and crochet. This one's a J or a 10, and it's 6 millimeters, which I will show you in a bit. They'll usually have some washing instructions. It'll tell you what the yarn is made of, and then it'll give you the weight of the yarn and about the yardage as well. And some of them are really cool and it'll give you a pattern. I think this one gives you like a, what are those things called? A scanning bar thing to get a pattern, but okay. And it will also give the color and a lot number. When you are buying your yarn for a pattern, it is best to buy as much of it as you possibly can, like preferably as much as you need for the pattern, so that you hopefully get the same lot number, because the color and the dye can vary a little bit per lot number. So you want to try and stick with that lot number so it's the same, if that makes any sense at all. So here we have, like I said, the 6 weight. I cannot remember how big this one is, but this is another bulky yarn that would require a larger hook. I can't find the end to show you. There it is. See, it's pretty thick. And it's bulky. It's just cotton though. It's not like wool or anything. I think it might be partial wool, but I can't remember. And then this is your average weight yarn. I think it's a 4, which this is just the cheap stuff that you would buy pretty, like relatively cheap at Walmart. It'll be the cheapest one you'll find. And this is the one that is primarily used in a lot of patterns because it's easy to come by. It's relatively small and easy to work with, super easy to work with. All right, so that's the yarn. Now these little doohickeys are not, in my opinion, necessary, but I will show them anyway. These are called stitch markers. And you'll want them, especially if you're working in a round or something like that, you'll want to mark the end of your round. I don't usually use them because I always lose them, they fall off, or like my kids take them and then they unravel my whole project, you know, stupid stuff like that. And I'm lazy too, so I usually just use whatever I have on hand, usually a paper clip or a safety pin or something like that. Those will work just as fine. But I will see if I can get it open. Hold on. But basically what they do is, it's kind of like a keychain, and it just twists into your stitch and holds your place so that you don't lose it. So there's those. And now we'll go over the hooks. I have a wide variety, so that helps. These hooks are incredibly small. These are for like the really, really thin like thread and stuff to make like doilies or little baby shoes or something. And these ones don't even have letters. It's just numbers. So this one's like a 6. And they're out of order, by the way. I'm lazy. 1.80 millimeters, and so on and so forth. And they're really, really tiny. I have only used them a couple of times. Okay, and then we have these. This one does not have anything listed, so I'm not positive on the size, but I want to say it's like a Q or something like that, but it's really large. This would be for something like a bulky blanket or something that you'd want to work up really fast. Same with this one. I feel like this is an O or a P, but I can't remember. It's not focusing. Focus. But see, there's nothing listed anyway, so. All right, my biggest hook, I think, is this one. Well, aside from those, which is an N, I believe. Focus. There we go. And it is 9 millimeters in size. As you can see, it's pretty large. And then we have, I know I have a J somewhere around here. Maybe I don't, maybe it got lost. I was gonna show you the J because that was the one that was in the pattern that I did last, but I forgot. Okay, so I have a K, which is really close. Okay, which is 10 and a half. 6.5 millimeters, and again, really large. Anyway, and then we have like, whoops, an I, an H, a G, and then, you know, it just gets smaller. So this one here is a longer one. It's an I believe. And this is called an Afghan hook. And it's used a lot in like Tunisian crochet, which I'm not very knowledgeable in right now. So I can't really help you with that. But there's that one. This one is one of my favorites, and I need to get a bigger size. It's a C, but it lights up. Super cool. So you can crochet in the dark. And then these ones you may have noticed have a little thingy on them. They're supposed to be like ergonomic, is that what it's called? And it's a lot easier to grip, and it's a lot better on the hands. So if you're doing a lot of repetitive, and I have like tendonitis, so I need that extra support. So anyway, that's your basic crochet equipment. Most patterns will only require one hook size and one yarn size. And I will insert a link to the missing yarn needles so you can see what you'd be looking for. Other than that, be on the lookout for more crochet videos. I'm hoping to start with tutorials on how to do different stitches very, very soon. Until next time, bye guys!